Greetings, cyberdogs and citizens of the internet. This is ReNDoG coming at you from the Nether Portal Temple in yet another episode of Molehole maintenance. In this episode, we are going to be replacing the floor of the CyberDog monument with some quartz slabbage to have a look at what that is going to look like, and it is going to be freaking sweet. So sit back and relax, my cyber diggity dogs. Let's do a little bit of maintenance work around here. Now guys, I've spent the last 40 minutes or so inside of the Nether grinding quartz, and if you guys want to watch that footage, there's a link to the latest Dogmail episode in the description box of this video. I recorded all of that grinding in that Dogmail episode, and I managed to pick up quite a lot of quartz, which I changed into blocks of quartz. I managed to pick up 3 full blocks of quartz, which is awesome, and it was 3 blocks of quartz for about 40 minutes of grinding, which is, I think, a pretty good yield. I also got really smart. I'm pretty proud of myself, man. I took an anvil with me into the Nether, and a few iron pickaxes, so whenever Claw got to low durability, I was able to fix Claw with the pickaxes that I took with me. And because we got experience from getting the Nether quartz, I was able to use that experience to continually repair Claw, so we can basically grind quartz eternally inside of the Nether, which is really awesome. But here we are in the storage rooms. I just want to drop off some of the stuff that I got in the Nether. I also managed to pick up a ton of glowstone, because I realized that we'd actually run out of glowstone. We've got a few more stacks of Nether quartz in here, which is so sweet. And I turned all of that glowstone into glowstone blocks. So we managed to pick up another 2 stacks of glowstone blocks from that grinding session, which is excellent, because we're actually basically out of glowstone right now. And I thought, you know what? While we're here, we might as well pick up some glowstone, get some nether quartz, get some glowstone. And of course, Claw gives us Fortune 2 results on glowstone as well as quartz, so it was like a double whammy session inside the Nether, man. It was pretty sweet. But we are now back in the real world, and I just want to drop off these Nether blocks. Don't want to take that jazz with me. And in this episode, guys, I want to start working quite a lot on the CyberDog monument floor. Basically, I want to switch out those stone bricks that we have as the floor currently with some quartz slabbage, and I want to see what that's going to look like, man. You know, I'm really stoked that we are using these quartz blocks for this CyberDog monument build, because I think that the block looks really awesome, and the sun is about to go down, so we'll probably have to have a sleep pretty soon. But also, I don't know, I think that it's just going to help the CyberDog monument stick out, right? Like, the reason that I love the Nether Portal Temple is because it sticks out quite well here in Rentopia, because it's made out of these nether bricks over here. And so far in Mole City, you know, everything is sort of starting to look a little bit the samey. We're using cobblestone, we're using stone bricks. Everything's looking kind of the same. I mean, the greenhouse looks quite different because we've got some moss stone going on over there. But the only things that really stand out in this area over here at the moment is the Nether Portal Temple and the Lakeside Villa, because they are crafted out of different materials to the rest of Mole City. So I want to sort of keep that trend going and make the CyberDog monument out of a block that we've never even used before, and that is of course out of quartz. So that's going to be freaking sweet. But I think we probably need to get a bit of a sleep in, man. We need to catch some Z's right now before we get some spawnage around here. So let's head over to old Grizzy's apartment. Man, I've been sleeping in Grizzy's apartment quite a lot. I've been defiling his sheets, man. I also haven't taken my armor off anything. I just sleep in his bed with all of my freaking armor on. Sorry, Grizzy. No wonder you don't come in here anymore, man. He's definitely working harder, though. He spends way more time in the blacksmith's workship than he does in his room now. Check at him, man. He's looking tired. He's got bags under his eyes. He's been smelting like nobody's business. Oh, Grizzy, man. You'll get a bonus this month, man. I'll give you another 64 gold nuggets. Yes, I'm a generous king. But anyway, guys, let's get over to the CyberDog monument construction site, and we can talk a little bit more about what we're going to be doing today. So what I want to do today is replace one of these floors with this quartz that we managed to get from the Nether. I want to replace this area over here with quartz slabbage, and this area over here with quartz slabbage, to have a look at what the slabbage will look like, or the quartz will look like, next to this awesome lapis canal over here. And if it turns out to look really sweet, then that's the design we'll go for. So let's head back down over here to our work area. Let's turn all of this nether quartz into nether quartz blocks, like so. I mean blocks of quartz, sorry. Man, there's so many different definitions, it's ridiculous. All right, now what we're gonna do, guys, is try and be quite smart, right? We wanna try and preserve our quartz, because currently this quartz is a finite material and we can only get this quartz from the nether. So we want to try and make best use of this quartz as we can. And I think I've thought of quite a clever way to do this, right? All we really need to do, if we are going to use the quartz as, what am I doing? I can do it like that. There we go. If we use quartz slabbage as the floor of the CyberDog monument, we can save on quite a lot of quartz, because as we know, 3 blocks of quartz make 6 blocks of quartz slabbage. So we basically double the yield of these blocks of quartz that we get, right? So that's pretty awesome. And the reason that we can really optimize the use of quartz by doing this is the following. Check it out, right? If we head over here, let's just get Claw out of here. If we are going to make this floor out of quartz slabbage, we only need to use 1 block of quartz slabbage to make the floor. So instead of using a whole block of quartz to make the floor, we can just use a bit of slabbage. And that helps us really save on the use of quartz in this build. So that's really awesome. And check it out, that already looks really awesome. So what I'm going to do is just like dig out all of these blocks that we already placed. It's kind of annoying that we have to dig all the blocks out again, but I don't know. I think this is the best way to do it, right? Like you set down all of the blocks and then you sort of chip away at it. Like especially for this build, it would have been much more difficult to like design the floor without having some sort of a template to work with. And all of these bricks over here, I think they work quite well as a template, I think. And it's not too much of a mission to just like break them and pick them up again, I think. So there we go, right? We're going to fill in this area with this quartz slabbage, and we'll have a look at what that looks like. I think it's probably going to look pretty sweet. And while we're doing this, guys, I thought what we could do today is have like a little brainstorming session. And I've been thinking quite a lot. I mean, you know, I've had a really sweet day today because I didn't have to work today. I finished off quite a lot of work on my game, so I had a pretty chilled day today. And I thought to myself, well, why don't we just make like a bunch of videos? I made like loads of videos today, man. I made a Dogmail, I made a Euro Truck Sim 2, I made a Hexit video, and now I'm making a freaking Molehole maintenance episode. So I've been in like a video making mood today, which has been awesome. And what I thought, you know, what I've been thinking a lot about is what are we going to be doing in Mole City and in Rentopia for the next for the next season, at least for the rest of season 3 and then the season to come also. And you know, what are our immediate goals and like what are the priorities, right? And I think what we should probably do is like focus on completing the priorities. So what we should do is like set up a list of priorities and get those done before we do anything else, unless something like really awesome comes up that ends up being like better than one of the priorities that we have. Then we can sort of swap that priority out for a new one, if you know what I'm saying. But I think it's important that we actually figure out what our priorities are for the rest of season 3, so we can get them done and go into season 4 knowing that we don't have any unfinished business around here. Lakeside Villa, I'm looking at you. Now, priority number 1 for me is definitely the CyberDog monument. I want to get this monument built within the next, the way that I see it is that I want the monument built within the next 10 episodes of Minecraft Survival. And I don't even know if that's going to be possible, but I'm going to try my freaking hardest to get it done. But I think if we do like a whole bunch of maintenance episodes, we could probably get it done quite quickly. And if we just keep focused, right? Like if we don't get distracted by any new builds or anything like that, I'm pretty sure that we can get this project done in the next 10 episodes or so. The question then is, where do we go from there? Like once the CyberDog monument is complete, we have a couple of options, right? Number 1, we could stick around in Mole City and do a couple more builds. For example, we could build that inn in the Nether district that I've been talking about. Number 2, we could do some work with that awesome NPC village that we found, that NPC village that's just ladies. We could build like a railway line over there. We could go and build a wall around the village, get it secured. We could do all of that stuff. And I think because it's much further away than Dogtown, I think what we would probably do is set up a rail network in the Nether to get there. So that would be a pretty epic project, right? Because that would be the first time that we use the Nether for like proper travel. That's another option that we have. And of course, the third option that we have is to go back to Silcom Gang Island and get that puppy finished off. And my personal feeling is that we should go back to Silcom Gang Island and get that puppy finished off, man. Because Silcom Gang Island is freaking sweet, and I don't want to see that project unfinished. It's a pretty important project for me personally. I don't know, I just love it, man. I just love that project, and I definitely don't want to leave it unfinished. So I think that we will probably be heading back to Silcom Gang Island once we finish the CyberDog Monument. But if we manage to finish Silcom Gang Island in, like, I don't know, 15 episodes or so, what's next, man? Where do we go from there? What is our priority after that? And my feeling is that once we finish Silcom Gang Island, we focus on securing the Lady Village and getting a nether railway line built all the way to the Lady Village. Because I really, really like that village. I think it's really cool. And I kind of want to start like increasing the population of Mole City. Like, that's one of my priorities also, right? I want to start getting more NPCs around here because I want to start making use of trading more. Trading is like a big part of Minecraft, and we don't even use it at all. I don't think we've ever traded anything with any villager, and that's pretty silly. And at the moment, we are actually able to generate like some really awesome items from trading with villagers. For example, right, Griswold he actually trades Eyes of the Ender for emeralds, right? Now, we don't have any emeralds, and we don't have like direct access to emeralds at the moment. We don't have like a giant mountain biome to get emeralds. However, there is an NPC in Dogtown that trades emeralds for books, right? So we give that NPC books and they give us emeralds. We can then give those emeralds to Griswold to get those Eyes of the Ender. So what we should be doing really is getting that NPC that trades emeralds for books into Mole City, and that's obviously going to be the librarian or something, right? And we need to build like a library for that NPC, or like a home for that NPC, so that we can start generating like an unlimited amount of emeralds. Obviously, books are really, really easy to make because we basically have an infinite supply of the materials that we need to make books, right? Like, all we need is reed, and we have tons of reed growing in the farmland, so we can actually just make a ridiculous amount of books and get an unlimited supply of emeralds. What this also means is that book trading NPC will basically become like our emerald engine, and if we can find other NPCs that trade stuff that we need for emeralds, we will be able to get like all of the emeralds that we need from the librarian and trade those emeralds with the NPCs that have like the epic loots that we want. For example, one of the things that we might want to trade with villagers is quartz, right? I don't know if villagers actually trade quartz, but I guess they must, right? But for example, if we found a villager that was able to trade quartz, then we wouldn't have to go grinding in the nether. Well, we could, but we could also get that quartz via another route, right? We could get quartz via a trading route, and that is really freaking sweet. I mean, there's a whole bunch of other stuff we could get. Maybe we could get diamonds. Maybe we could get redstone. Maybe we could get like glass, like stained glass. I mean, who knows? The possibilities are endless with trading villagers, and the more villagers that we can get into Mole City, the more we will open up the possibilities of trading. And obviously, like, those villagers will start to breed and make new villagers that will be able to trade new stuff, and eventually we will have a city with like everything that we need in the hands of the villagers, and we can just trade with them whenever we need. And that is actually really, really awesome. And that's definitely something that I want to get to. Like, that's a point that I want to get to for shizzle. So coming back to like what I think our priorities should be. Like, I don't know. I just feel like our priorities should be on finishing the monument, going back to Silcom Gang Island, finishing off the island, and then coming back to Mole City and just going to town on Mole City, man. Just like doing everything that we can to make Mole City as awesome as we can possibly make it. So yeah, guys, I would actually at this point love to get your guys' feedback. Now is your time to brainstorm, man. Like, what would you guys like to see done in this Minecraft survival series over the next, let's say, for the rest of season 3, going into season 4? Like, what would you guys like to see happen? This is looking pretty sweet, actually. We better go and have a sleep, though, because the sun's going down, and then we can come back and have a chat about what this looks like. But I think that's looking pretty awesome. Although I kind of feel that it looks a little bit like snow. Do you guys know what I'm saying? Like, I know that it's marble. Like, I know that it's supposed to look like marble, but I don't know. It looks a little bit snowy to me, and I don't know if I want the floor to look like snow. I want the floor to look like marble. Maybe there's something that we can do with the chiseled blocks to change the look of that. Maybe we can like do some chiseled block patterns to sort of just like change up the symmetry of all of those quartz slabs next to each other. Let's go have a look, man. We'll do a little bit of experimenting. But yeah, guys, man, I am so freaking excited for the rest of this season. Oh man, I'm so excited. I mean, you know, there's still stuff that we still need to do though. Like, for example, we still need to go to the end. We still need to beat the Wither boss. We still need to make beacons. We still need to eventually kill the freaking Ender Dragon. Have no idea when that's going to happen, but geez, you know, that's a pretty serious goal that we need to achieve. But all of that stuff is like, you know, things have come up that are just like more important than that, in my opinion anyway. And that's why we've never really got to doing any of that stuff. But alright guys, let's spend a little bit of time looking at this and trying to figure out what the jazz this looks like. Firstly, let's have a look. What does this quartz block and this bit of slabbage look like next to each other? I think they're okay. I think the important thing to look at is this position over here. And yeah, I don't know, man. It looks okay. You see, the top of a chiseled bit of quartz looks pretty awesome, right? Like, that looks pretty cool. Like, maybe what we should do is maybe line, instead of having the lining out of just like normal slabbage, maybe the lining should be out of chiseled quartz. And chiseled quartz is made with 2 bits of quartz slabbage, right? So chiseled quartz is also like quite cheap, inverted commas, to make chiseled quartz. Basically, what, like from 1 block of quartz we can get 3 blocks of chiseled quartz, right? Yeah. So like chiseled quartz is a pretty efficient material to generate from our blocks of quartz. So I think I'm quite happy to use chiseled quartz quite liberally. Let's have a look, man. Let's have a look what this is going to look like. Actually, you know what? Let's just make like a ton of this chiseled quartz and have a look at what it looks like. See, I do. Oh man, I do like that. Yeah, I do. Like, this slabbage looks, I don't know, it just looks ugly next to the white. Like, the white is so clean and the slabbage is really, really grimy and dirty. It's like this horrible, dirty brown. Yeah, you see, like that definitely looks better, right? And because this chisel quartz has like this sort of gray outline over here, it helps to I don't know, it makes like a border for the marble floor, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that actually looks really awesome. So why don't we get all of this, let's change all of this lining into chiseled quartz and have a look at what that's going to look like. I don't think we can unchisel chiseled quartz though, so all of the chiseled quartz that we make now is permanent. But that's okay, I think, that's okay. Alright, let's just make a butt ton of chiseled quartz, shall we? Let's make 32 blocks of chiseled quartz. Get that jazz installed. Man, I actually think this is going to look awesome. I got a feeling in my stomach right now, man. And it's going to look awesome next to this canal also, I think. Yeah, look at that, man. That is looking very, very cool. And I think what we're going to have to do is make the first layer of the walls of the monument out of chiseled quartz, right? So like this. So like if this is the wall of the monument, right? We're going to have to make it out of chiseled quartz, I think. Let's have a look. So if we're standing in here, so if we imagine this is like a lapis canal, right? Yeah, you see that does look really awesome. It has like a really awesome museum feel to it, if you know what I mean. Yeah, man, that is cool. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. Although I don't know, man. Like, what could the wall be made out of? Anything different? I mean, it can't be made out of pillars. Could it be made out of this? Maybe. maybe, let's give it a try, shall we? And this is what Molehole maintenance is all about, man. This is the time where we get to experiment and stuff and like try new stuff. So why don't we try and make the wall out of this pillar, this quartz pillar block? I know it doesn't, I do just want to use the quartz pillar blocks to make pillars, right? Just to make like run-of-the-mill pillars, because they do have that awesome like Roman pillar feel to them. But I think it might actually look pretty awesome. Let's just reline this wall. Man, this chiseled quartz breaks so quickly. It's awesome. All right, let's try again with this block over here. Why I like this block is because it has vertical lines. Oh my goodness, it can actually go on its side also. That's very awesome. I didn't know that. It's almost like a tree, right? It acts as like a tree. What does the top of this block look like? Okay, it's exactly the same as the slabbage. All right, let's get this wall design installed, and then let's take a step back and have a look. There we go. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I think I preferred the chiseled quartz though. This has got like a sort of, I don't know, it's got like a hospital feel to it, I think. I mean, maybe what, I don't know, it's tricky, man. This is a tricky one. Like, what I'm thinking is that maybe what we need to do is have chiseled quartz like this, but then maybe we use quartz slabbage to make like a skirting, like so. That could work very nicely, actually. Let's try that. We're gonna need all of these pillars anyway, so like, I don't mind making them and experimenting with them. Definitely do mind dropping them though. These quartz blocks are precious! Alright, let's get a few more bits of slabbage made. Now guys, another thing that I wanted to talk about was like the actual work that we're going to be doing in Mole City. Like the sewerage networks, like what are the different buildings we're going to make around Mole City. And currently what I'm thinking is, what we should be making in the Nether District anyway is an awesome inn. I've told you guys about that already, and I also got a really good idea from a Cyberdog in the previous Dogmail about making a black market in the Nether District, and this black market will literally be like underground. So maybe the black market will be under the inn that we make, right? And the only way that you can get to the black market is via like a secret redstone entrance or something like that. Like that would be pretty awesome, I think. But like, what else is there? What else are we going to make, man? I think that like we need to make a library. I think that's pretty important that we make a library with like a whole butt ton of books. And in the library will be an enchanting table. So if we need to do enchanting in Mole City, that's where we can go. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is looking, oh, man, it's looking okay. Yeah, the walls are the walls of the monument are a bit of a conundrum, I think. But I think as far as this area over here and the lining of the canals, I actually really like this. I think this works pretty well. Yeah, I like it, man. I think it's awesome. I think that looks great. Now the walls are going to be something else, man. I don't know how we're going to do this. We're gonna have to get really clever, man. We're gonna have to get really creative with the walls. I don't think I really like this sort of slabbage design over here. I think the walls need to be straight. They need to be straight up. But what block we use to make these walls that is basically the $1 million question up in here, man. Like I like the chiseled block, the chiseled quartz blocks, but I don't know. It's kind of, if you can imagine the entire Cyberdog monument lined with like this sort of trippy, highly detailed block. I think it's gonna like hurt your eyeballs, to be honest. Like as you look around, you're just gonna see these like hallucinatively generating blocks. Man, I don't even know if that's a word, but I struggled to get that one out. But yeah, man, that's looking pretty awesome. Oh man, this monument is gonna be so awesome, all in quartz up in here. Sweet. Well, like what I want to do is just finish off the lining over here of this canal, and I think that's will be the end of today's episode. But yeah, dudes. Oh man, I'm so excited about Mole City. Like, there's so many things that I want to do around here. So much work, like so many different designs and stuff that I want to do. Like one of the things that I really want to do is make a Colosseum. Because I made a Colosseum in my in my Terraria world when I played Terraria, and I absolutely loved it, man. It was so cool. And it was like a gladiators coliseum, right? And I kind of want to do that here, but there's not really, I don't know if there's enough space in Mole City to make a coliseum. Like, what I've been thinking is about making a coliseum in this space over here, so getting rid of this road and then making the coliseum in this entire space over here, right? But that would literally mean that the entire villa district will just be a coliseum. There wouldn't be like any apartment blocks or any like houses or anything around here. But I don't know, man, maybe that's worth doing. And like the coliseum would be right next to the CyberDog monument also. So like I think that the two of them together would look really awesome. But I do want to make like a lot of apartments in Mole City, right? I want to get like a ton of villagers living in Mole City. I want like a huge population of villagers. And I'm like, seriously, I want like 100 villagers to live in Mole City. I don't even know if that's possible to get 100 villagers living in one place, but I'm going to try, man. I want to get as many villagers as we possibly can living in the city. Like, I think that's will probably be one of my primary goals for season 4, will be like the population, the populating of Mole City, man. Oh man, it's gonna be so freaking sweet. Oh man, I'm getting nervous because the sun is going down right now, so I can't place blocks properly. All right, let's just get this done really quick, fast, and in a hurry. Come on, baby. Man, I need to get out of here. We need to go and sleep. Griswold and Beatrice are in jeopardy right now. Let's just get this lining finished. There we go. Oh man, that is looking so awesome. I do like this, man. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling that, man. You can imagine the whole inside of the monument looking like that. That would be freaking sweet. But anyway, guys, now is your chance to give me your feedback, give me your comments. How do you feel about that new look that we're working on in the CyberDog monument? Any sweet ideas for the wall, man? That's what I'm looking for. Like, you guys need to help me come up with an awesome design for the walls of the CyberDog monument, because currently, I don't know, I'm not really happy with using these chiseled blocks as the wall, and I'm not happy. Maybe we just need to like make it really simple and make the walls out of just pure quartz blocks. You know, maybe I'm like overcomplicating things. Maybe it just needs to be like clean white walls and that's it. And then what we can do is inside the monument, we can make like pillar overhangs, and the pillar overhangs will help to like break up the flatness of the walls, right? We can also make like really nice big stained glass windows going up the walls, and that'll help break up the whiteness. Yeah, so you know what? Actually, now, see, this is, oh man, I love brainstorming so much. I think that's probably what I'm going to settle on. I think I'm probably going to make the walls like pure white, and then use like clever techniques to break up the whiteness, like windows, like overarching pillars, chandeliers, stuff like that. I think that'll actually solve this conundrum quite nicely. But guys, you know what? Why don't you let me know what you think about this new design? How do you feel about the way the canals look? The reason that I like it is because I think that the white and the blue look much better together than like this ugly ass slabbage color and the blue. I think the white and the blue really match very nicely together. And yeah, I just love it, man. I just love the way that this looks now. It's really sweet. But anyway, guys, that is the end of today's Molehole maintenance episode. Basically achieved everything that I wanted to do today. I'm going to go off camera now and sort of complete the rest of this. I guess I'm going to do as much as I can, determined by the amount of freaking quartz that I have. I assume I'll run out of quartz pretty quickly. We've already like gone through quite a few of the stacks that we got from grinding in the nether. But that's just going to mean we're going to have to head back to the nether at some point. And I'm fine with that, man. I freaking dig the nether. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Molehole Maintenance. If you enjoyed it, you hit the like button. Cannot wait to read your guys' feedback on the new floor of the CyberDog monument. And guys, I will see you in the next ReNDoG video. Goodbye, my friends.